Stop what you're doing. This is about you. Have you ever questioned the people who have entered your life? Sometimes, what seems like a new beginning can be just a repetition of old wounds. If you feel trapped in a cycle of pain and disappointment, it's time to pay attention. The truth you need to hear may not be the one you want to hear. Often, that contact you believe to be promising brings just more of the same. You feel an instant attraction, but deep down, something doesn't align. It's as if an echo from the past is presenting itself again. Every time you get involved with someone who is not genuine, you relive your insecurities. That feeling of reliving past pains is real. Every message that gives you butterflies, every conversation that seems superficial is a sign. Your body is alerting you to what's at stake. Even if your mind tries to convince you otherwise, you might be deceiving yourself, thinking that this time it will be different. But the scars are still there, lurking. It's not you who is wrong. It's the repetition of these patterns that keeps you trapped. The fear of being alone, or the belief that you don't deserve something better, may be leading you to accept what no longer serves you. What you feel is valid. You are not crazy or defective. You are simply reacting to something real and tangible in your life. Now it's time to see things as they truly are. Look around you. Ask yourself, are these people contributing to my well-being, or am I just feeding a cycle of pain? You no longer need to feel trapped in relationships that do not bring a future. The choice is yours, and the truth may hurt, but it is liberating. If you have come this far, this is a sign, a clear sign that it's time to act. Don't ignore what is right in front of you anymore. Your life and your self-esteem are at stake. You deserve to live a full life, free from repetitive patterns that bring nothing new. Reflect on this and make a firm decision. You can and should seek relationships that truly add value to your life. This is your call to action. Have you ever stopped to think about how your relationship choices reflect how you see yourself? Often, the way we connect with others is a direct reflection of how we feel about ourselves. If you feel insecure or undeserving of love, it is likely that you will choose people who only confirm these negative beliefs. This is not just a pattern, it is an emotional trap that you need to recognize and break. When you find yourself attracted to someone who is not genuine, it may be a sign that you are seeking validation where there is none. The search for attention and approval can lead to a recurring cycle of disappointment. You give yourself, hoping that the new person will bring the happiness you lack, but soon realize that you are just reliving the same story. It takes courage to confront this reality. One crucial aspect you should consider is the influence of past experiences. Every relationship that didn't work out leaves a mark, and these marks can lead you to choose partners who replicate old patterns. This repetition is not accidental. It is an emotional response to unresolved traumas. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards breaking free from them. If you feel like you're always in the same cycle, it might be time to reflect on your emotional needs. What are you really looking for in a relationship? Security, love, respect. Often we become so focused on the idea of being with someone that we forget to evaluate if that person really offers what we need. It is crucial to align your expectations with the reality of the relationship. Additionally, it is important to keep in mind that every relationship should be a healthy exchange. If you are constantly sacrificing to please the other, it is a sign that the relationship is not balanced. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, where both parties feel valued and heard. If you notice that you are always giving in, it is time to reevaluate your position. The fear of loneliness can be one of the biggest obstacles you face. It is common to fear being alone, but that loneliness can be better than surrounding yourself with people who do not have good intentions. Being alone does not mean being isolated. It can be an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. Use this time to understand your emotions better and what you truly want in a partner. Reflection is a powerful tool. Ask yourself, am I choosing relationships that lift me up or keep me down? Take an inventory of your relationships. List the positive and negative aspects of each. This can help you see more clearly the dynamics that are established and how they impact your life. Another important issue to consider is communication. Are you expressing yourself clearly and honestly? Often lack of communication can lead to misunderstandings and resentments. When you do not feel comfortable speaking about your needs and boundaries, you end up allowing the other person to dictate the relationship's dynamics. Do not be afraid to be clear about what you want and need. Self-confidence is an essential factor in freeing yourself from toxic relationships. The more you believe in your worth, the less likely you are to accept what you do not deserve. Work on your self-esteem daily. This can include practices such as meditation, journaling, or any activity that makes you feel good about yourself. When you value yourself, you attract people who also value you. It is also imperative to learn to say no. Often the fear of hurting others prevents us from being firm about what we do not want. However, saying no can be the healthiest way to take care of yourself. It is an act of self-love and respect for your boundaries. If you find yourself in a relationship that causes more pain than happiness, consider seeking external support. Talking with friends, family, or even a therapist can offer new perspectives and help you view the situation more clearly. The help of a professional can be particularly valuable when dealing with traumas and insecurities that complicate your decisions. Remember that change takes time. Do not pressure yourself to find all the answers immediately. Every small step toward clarity and emotional freedom is progress. The journey can be challenging, but every effort is worth it when you are seeking a path that truly resonates with who you are. Finally, always keep in mind that you deserve relationships that are truly fulfilling. Build a healthy emotional space in your life. This is the time to commit to your well-being by making choices that reflect your value and dignity. The path may be difficult, but the reward of a full life filled with true love will make every step worth it. This is your life, and you have the power to shape it as you wish. Have you ever felt exhausted just from trying to please others? That feeling of emotional exhaustion is a clear sign that something needs to change. Constantly seeking the approval of others can drain your energy and affect your mental health. It is essential to understand that your happiness should not depend on what others think or feel. When you put yourself in the background to satisfy others' needs, you lose sight of what you truly desire. This dynamic not only harms your well-being, but it also weakens your relationships. It is necessary to establish clear boundaries. Learning to say no is an act of self-love and a demonstration of self-respect. You might be wondering how to start implementing these boundaries. A good starting point is to identify your emotional needs. What do you really want from a relationship? Security, support, love. Once you have clarity about your needs, it will be easier to communicate with others. Recognize when someone is overstepping your boundaries. This could be through disrespectful comments, excessive demands, or simply not respecting your space. When you notice these signs, it is essential that you stand your ground in a firm and respectful manner. Open communication is the key to healthy relationships. Additionally, it is crucial to be aware of the signs of emotional manipulation. If someone is trying to control your decisions or making you feel guilty for your choices, it's time to reevaluate that relationship. You should not feel pressured to act in a way that does not align with your true self. This type of manipulation can disguise itself as love or concern, but it is important not to be fooled. True concern translates into support, freedom, and respect for your choices. Assess whether the person around you truly cares about you or is more concerned with meeting their own needs. Another important reflection is on how you see yourself. If you do not value yourself, it will be more difficult to recognize the value that others should have in your life. Working on your self-esteem is a vital part of the process of building healthy relationships. Remember that you deserve to be treated with dignity. In moments of emotional crisis, it is natural to seek comfort in other people. However, this search can lead to wrong choices, especially if you cling to unhealthy relationships. It is essential to develop a strong relationship with yourself before seeking validation externally. Have you ever thought about how your expectations influence your interactions? I believe many people feel frustrated by not finding what they want in their relationships. Part of this frustration can come from unrealistic expectations or idealizations of how a relationship should be. It is important to be realistic and understand that no relationship is perfect. Additionally, comparing with other relationships can be poisonous. Each person has their own journey and their own battles. Instead of looking around and feeling inadequate, focus on your own evolution. Set personal goals and engage with people who support your achievements and challenges. When you allow yourself to grow and develop, you attract people who are aligned with that vision. This creates a healthier and more productive environment where both parties can flourish. Remember that relationships should be a mutual exchange, where each contributes to the well-being of the other. What do you do when you feel a relationship is not working? It is common to want to ignore the signs and hope things will improve on their own. However, this approach usually leads to stagnation. If something is not right, have the courage to address the situation, talk openly about your concerns, and be willing to listen to what the other person has to say. If the conversation does not lead to a positive change, it is essential to consider whether the relationship is worth it. Sometimes, the hardest decision is the one that brings the most relief. You don't need to feel guilty about prioritizing your emotional health. Letting go of relationships that don't serve you is a crucial step for your personal growth. Look at your friendships and romantic relationships. Do they truly reflect who you are or who you want to be? If you realize that you are surrounded by people who are not genuine or who don't share your values, this might be an opportunity to reevaluate your connections. Reflecting on your relationships should be a constant practice. Take some time to think about how each person in your life impacts your well-being. If you notice that some relationships bring more pain than joy, it's time to take action. Don't be afraid to distance yourself from people who don't add value to your life. Ultimately, what you seek are connections that nurture your soul and promote your growth. Each relationship should be a partnership where both feel supported and valued. This is the kind of love you deserve. Finally, remember that the journey to building healthy and gratifying relationships starts with you. Value yourself and don't be afraid to seek what you truly desire. True love and meaningful connections are within your reach, but you must be willing to make the choices that bring you closer to them. This is your life, and you have the power to shape it the way you want. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your own emotions? This feeling can be an indication that you are carrying the weight of dysfunctional relationships. It is essential to understand that your emotional health should be a priority. When you find yourself in a cycle of constant stress, it can affect every area of your life, including your career, physical health, and even your sleep. It is important to recognize that self-care is not selfishness. Self-care is an essential step in building healthy relationships. This involves dedicating time to activities that nourish your soul and promote your well-being. Take moments to reflect on your needs and desires without distractions. This personal space can reveal truths that you have been ignoring. Another issue to consider is the influence of social media on your perception of relationships. Social networks can create a false reality where relationships seem perfect. This constant comparison can feed insecurities and unrealistic expectations. Remember that each relationship is unique and should be evaluated on its own merits, not in comparison to what you see online. Additionally, talk to people who genuinely care about you. Seeking support from friends or family can offer new perspectives and strengthen your confidence. They can help you see situations in ways you can't, bringing clarity during times of emotional confusion. Being surrounded by supportive people can make a significant difference in your journey of self-discovery and growth. When you feel comfortable opening up, it creates a safe space to explore your emotions. Talking about your concerns and insecurities can bring relief, and in many cases, solutions you hadn't considered. Be willing to listen to what others have to say about their experiences and how they might relate to your situation. Sometimes the most impactful changes start with small decisions. You may choose to distance yourself from a relationship that is not working, even though it may seem difficult. This kind of courage is necessary to free yourself from patterns that no longer serve your well-being. By making conscious decisions about who you allow into your life, you begin to surround yourself with people who reflect what you truly value. Honesty is an essential pillar in any relationship. If you don't feel comfortable being honest about your needs, you may end up stifling your emotions. Practice open and transparent communication with those around you. This can help avoid misunderstandings and create a solid foundation for any relationship. Keep in mind that emotional healing is an ongoing process. Do not pressure yourself to have all the answers immediately. Every step you take towards self-understanding is progress. Be kind to yourself as you navigate through your emotions and experiences. Recognize that pain is a part of growth, and it's normal to have difficult days. Change, although challenging, is often necessary. Do not be afraid to distance yourself from people who drain your energy or do not respect your boundaries. Protecting yourself is essential for creating a space where you can flourish. By freeing yourself from toxic relationships, you open the door to healthier and more meaningful connections. Also, consider seeking professional help if necessary. Having a therapist can offer a neutral space to discuss your concerns and help you develop coping skills. Therapy can be a valuable tool for understanding emotional patterns and working on deeper issues that may be impacting your life. Finally, remember that you are not alone on this journey. Many people face similar challenges and seek a path to healthier relationships. By allowing yourself to grow and develop, you can attract the right people into your life. Build a support network that inspires and motivates you to be the best version of yourself. This is the moment to commit to your emotional well-being. Make conscious choices that reflect your value and dignity. You have the power to shape your life and relationships in the way you desire. Every step towards a more fulfilling life is a victory. It's time to embrace this journey with courage and determination. Before you leave, do two things now. Take a deep breath and keep what touched your heart today. And, if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.